Hi, so in today's quick video I'm going to show you how to stitch out this design. It's called Football's Coming Home and it's from So Heavenly Designs, and it's available at the moment for £3 at the reduced rate, I think from £5.50 from memory. It's a machine embroidery project and it comes in 3 sizes, so there's a 4x4, a 5x7 and a 7x10, and it's available in all embroidery machine formats. I'm going to be sewing the 5x7. Now, from what I can see in this stitch file, there are no instructions telling you how to do this at all. So I'm just recording this video in the hope that I can stitch it out correctly and in the hope that it may help somebody else. So if you're an England football fan or you've got an England football fan in your life, you may want to have a go at this. They literally just call it Football's Coming Home. I've seen it stitched with a piece of ribbon so you can hang it, so you could hang it around the mirror in your inside of your car, or you could hang it in your house. I'm not entirely sure what it's meant to be. As I say, you can hopefully watch me stitch it out and hopefully it will be helpful. So I've got my hoop already in my machine and I've got a piece of tearaway stabiliser already hooped. I'm going to put a piece of white fabric on top of the hoop. I'm just going to float it and I'm going to stitch out step 1. I've positioned the design high up in the hoop on my screen, so I've placed my piece of white fabric on top of the hoop where the design should stitch out. So I'm going to stitch out step 1. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. This design has 5 steps and it shows us 4 colourways. So step 1 is to stitch the red, step 2 is the blue, which I've done in navy, and step 3 is the text, which is all in white. Now step 4 shows us a different shade of blue, but I'm going to still use navy, and I think this is where you put the backing on. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to bring in a piece of white and just make it roughly about the size of my hoop. And something I've not done here, which I always do, is I always iron my fabrics, but I forgot to iron this before I started stitching, so I'm just going to carry on. And I've also got a piece of ribbon, and this is about 12 inches long, and I'm going to pop this piece of ribbon in between the stabilizer and this piece of fabric, and I'm going to put it kind of centrally. So this is going to go back in the machine now, and it's going to stitch step 4 and step 5, both of which I'm going to do in the dark navy blue. So if you use a piece of ribbon like me, make sure that it's hanging out the back and it's not tucked under the hoop. Okay, so that's finished. I'm going to take it out of the machine and release it from the hoop. So I'm just going to peel away all of the masking tape that I used to hold the backing piece in place. So because I've not stitched this design before and there were no instructions, I've not put the ribbon in far enough for it to hold in place. It's caught in one little place, but it's not caught the other end. So I'm going to have to just put that back in and probably just stitch over it in white thread and hope you don't notice it, just to hold my hanging loop in place. And then now it's just a case of cutting around the design. So I'm going to cut away this piece of stabilizer because this can probably be used again on another project in my smaller hoop. But this is how it's looking so far. So we need to cut all the way around here now, but obviously not cutting through the ribbon. As I say, I'm probably going to have to put a couple of stitches in there just to hold it in place. What you could also do, if you didn't want to use it as a hanging decoration, you could cut another piece of fabric, put it right side down, sew around the edge, leave a gap for turning, flip it inside out and use it as a mug rug or a coaster. That's just another option. So I'll trim around this and I'll stitch this bit of ribbon in place, and then I'll come back and show you when it's completed. Okay, so here it is finished. So as I said, because there were no instructions with this stitch file and I didn't realise how far I needed to push the ribbon in, the ribbon didn't hold in place while I was stitching the final step. So I've literally just attached mine on the back and stitched it with some white thread. So, you know, that may help anybody that tries to stitch out this design in the future. Like I say, if you didn't want to do it as a hanging design, just cut another piece of fabric and make it into a mug rug or a coaster. Anyway, I hope you like this simple, quick project. The whole stitch out was supposed to take about 41 minutes. It took me a little bit longer because obviously I was filming. I did have a couple of thread breaks on the red, so I had to rethread a couple of times, but really is quite an easy stitch out. Just a shame that there are no instructions within the stitch file. Anyway, please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.